Welcome to the Industrial Talk Podcast with Scott McKenzie. Scott is a passionate industry professional dedicated to transferring cutting-edge, industry-focused innovations and trends while highlighting the men and women who keep the world moving. So put on your hard hat, grab your work boots, and let's go.
All right, once again, thank you very much for joining Industrial Talk and absolutely your support, because this platform is dedicated to industry professionals all around the world. You are bold, you are brave, you dare greatly, you're solving problems, you're changing lives, and you're making the world a better place. It's not hyperbole, it's fact. Take it to the bank. All right, we're once again, you can tell by the buzz in the background, we are on site at FABTECH, Atlanta, Georgia, once again. Put this on your calendar. You need to be attending. You get great people like Mark and John right here, FANUC. All right, let's get cracking. Talking about robot stuff, automation stuff. All right, let's get cracking. How you guys doing?
Good. It's been a good week here.
It's been great. It's been busy, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I like that. It's been a lot of fun. For the listeners out there, you might have seen, we are getting ready to post it, but we did an exceptional speed dating series with FANUC at their location, and they're delivering the innovation that is necessary for you to succeed. How about that? You can take that to the bank. You okay? All right.
Every time.
That's how we roll.
Give you a return on that investment.
So that's right, man. And you will. You will, because, I mean, your tech is really pretty cool. I never... I don't know. I always like it. I always like it, and I just sit there, and it's like watching something. It's like I can't stop staring at it. Like I can't stop staring at you.
You know, I always feel like we're kind of spoiled. We see this stuff every day, and then when I come to the show, I watch the people. They see the robots moving around, and they're like, I'm sure they've seen something like it before, but it's like they've never seen that stuff before, and we're spoiled because we're immune to it, right?
Right.
It's different.
And it's always getting better. And again, I think that's an interesting part, Mark. Mark, and I didn't say Mike. It's Mark. But it's interesting because you just sort of see it. You're in the middle of it, and it's just evolving, and it's just getting better. And you're saying, hey, how about this? What do we do this? How about this solution? Yeah, somebody like me, it's like, this is so cool. Discovery Channel living. All right, for the listeners out there, let's start with you, John. Give us a little background so that they understand who you are.
All right, I'm John Horn. I am the sales director for our CNC group in the U.S. So my group works with machine builders and supplying FANUC CNC controls for custom machines and mills, lathes, all sorts of manufacturing machines.
So one of the things that even when we were at your booth, it's this ability to be able to take a sort of I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, John, you just step in if I'm saying something that's way outside of my pay grade, but it's taking sort of these old legacy, very still productive type of CNC machines and bringing them somewhat to an automated state. I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, thanks. A big part of our business in the U.S. is retrofitting existing machines. We've got all these older machines from the 70s and 80s, giant monolithic machines.
They're huge.
Would cost, could be $3 million to replace the machine. You could retrofit it for a fraction of that amount and still have all that good iron that could last another 30 years with this new control system.
We'll get to you, Mark. Just trust me. I'm going to pull on that thread just a tad bit.
Sure.
So there are just multiple systems or machines out there.
Large aerospace machines.
Yeah, they're just sitting out there.
Yeah, they are.
How does FANUC just deal with the uniqueness with each one? You sort of come up, or you have to walk out there and say, oh, okay, so we got to do this.
Yeah. There's many times I'll fly out to Utah, go visit the machine, talk to the end users, understand what needs to happen on this machine, understand if that machine has gone down, how long does it take to get back up? Are there parts available for it? And usually the answer is no, and guys are buying parts off eBay to keep from one machine to keep another machine running. So we offer a new control system 2-year warranty and spare parts for the life of the machine. So it's a big benefit on a large machine like that.
Is each engagement sort of customized? Like,
It is, yes, and then we look for similar machines out there that we could use some of that same technology or that same way we retrofitted the first machine to do more or similar machines.
All right, man. You can tell I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. All right, Mark, give us a little background.
And my name is Mark Scherler. I started at FANUC as a welding engineer, and I've grown up to become a general manager now. I'm in charge of the engineering group we have for arc welding and also our project management or execution side of the business.
We got to pull on this one now. What is a welding engineer?
Well, that's a good question. There's a lot of schools that have engineering degrees. There are not many schools that have welding engineering degrees. And there is a few represented here at FABTECH. There's some schools that have booths here. I actually got to go further into it. I got an undergrad in electrical engineering and a master's in welding engineering from the Ohio State University.
The number 2 in the country, Ohio State University. Yeah, out of Columbus. Good.
So maybe I didn't really answer your question, though. In the end, there's a number of aspects to welding engineering. There's the mechanical aspect of the weld. Somebody has to design that, make sure that the weld is going to be strong enough for whatever the part is. Somebody has to do the process of the weld, develop the weld process, and it could be manual, it could be automated, it could be whatever. There's inspection of the weld. There's a number of things you have to be able to do.
So what's interesting is, I've welded, so I can at least talk a little bit about it, but there's a lot of science that goes into welding and getting it right. There's a lot of, and I didn't realize the level of accuracy that is necessary, or the ability, or the need to analyze that weld and do it. There's a lot of science there.
Exactly right. When you have a mechanical engineer that wants to design a part, and he's got to weld some parts together, he needs to make sure that part's not going to fall apart after going down the road and hitting a bump or something like that, or whatever it is, whatever that part's designed to do, it needs to be able to hold together. And so that's what the engineering aspect of it is all about.
Yeah, and you don't want it to fall apart, and you want to be able to sort of nail it, and you want to be able to do it pretty consistently with the level of quality that you're not, throwing parts away. So, and back to you again, Mark. So did you start your career at FANUC?
I actually spent 1 year programming robots for another company, and then came to FANUC, and I've been there for, I don't want to say how long, too long.
5 years.
Yeah, you can tell I look very young, don't I?
I was just trying to. So with that said, and it's going to go to you, John, where do you see, there's a lot of, we're here at FABTECH, there's a lot of technology, a lot of innovation, a lot of automation that is being on display, and it's great. Don't get me wrong. I think it's pretty cool. And me living a Discovery Channel life, I soak it all up. But with that said, FANUC is always sort of your leading edge. You're constantly pushing. You're seeing what the market is in need of. Where do you see things sort of heading?
Through Industry 4.0, making sure all our products are ready for Industry 4.0. So data collection, understanding how long parts take to make, understanding the machinery and what your output is, your throughput, all of that, all those analytics are a big part of manufacturing going forward.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Here you go, Mark. Now, with that said, does FANUC provide a sort of that cloud-based sort of solution? Because data's data. I'm going to be collecting data. I'm going to be, and then I want to be able to analyze that data in such a way that makes me smarter as a manufacturer and do some tactical, adjustments, whatever, because I want to make sure that I have my uptime, my quality, so on and so forth. Does FANUC just sort of, if I knock on FANUC's door, sort of turnkey-ish?
Well, I mean, just relative to my history on some of these things, we've had a number of customers that they say, "Oh, can you collect a bunch of data for us?" And we've set up systems where it collects data, and then they don't know what to do with the data. And so, and to be honest,
A common tale.
yeah, the
unfortunately.
data's there, and it just never gets used. So we do have other methods. We've kind of learned from that. Maybe I'd say one of the things that we have right now is called zero downtime, or ZDT for short, and it's a method where the robots will actually send information about itself, the health of the robot, to the cloud. And then we have analytics. We've worked on developing these analytics by looking at all the data, and we try to determine if a robot is getting close to breaking down, or having a problem for whatever reason. And so the real goal, when we started this whole project, the real goal was that we would be able to tell a customer, hey, this robot that's running production right now, it's got a motor that's getting hot for whatever reason, and you need to plan on doing some maintenance work on it to repair that. And we think that you want to order those parts now so that you'll have the parts to repair it before the robot actually breaks down. And that way you can plan it and not wait until the robot breaks down and like, oh, I got to order parts got to arrive, I got to schedule somebody to do the repair, all that work causes a lot of downtime. We're trying to prevent that. That's our zero downtime.
See, this is interesting because there's a lot of conversation around all of that, right? There's gold in the data, and it always gets down to how do I mine it, what's important, what's not important, where do I start, all of that good stuff. But one of the things that's interesting that I see of value because of the supply chain and the challenges that exist there. If I had some clarity into, hey, it's beginning to fail, and then you have some sort of predictability to when, then I can sit there and go, okay, good, and we have a long lead time item. I'm not going to get caught with some asset being down and not being able to back up relatively. I like that.
Yeah, exactly right. That's been the goal of that product itself, and we've added other things to it to try and help provide some production data and things like that. But it's a great product. The automotive customers that we have that use it really love it.
So is that, John? Is that a product that can be deployed in all FANUC products, or next gen, or whatever?
ZDT specific to the robot side of the business. On the CNC side, we have something very similar called MT-Link I. We pull data, and there's all kinds of information that you have there. But I think the most important thing is just to get started. Customers need just to get started and just do something fundamental like how much time of the day is your spindle running? If it's not running more, why? That way you get to understand how you can just get started with data collection and get better at it and know what information is important.
With that said, the display, we all have been exposed, and if you're a data scientist, which you're not, we've all been exposed because there's this passion to try to continue to look into the data and keep on drilling down in the data and data. But I don't want to do that. I'm just a manufacturer. I don't want to do that. Just, can I have a dashboard that says red bad, yellow, green good, that type of thing.
Machines on, machines off, running, alarm, whatever. And that's a great place to get started.
And the ability to be able to say, hey, it's starting to turn yellow, the motor's heating up, whatever it is. It gives me some tactical. Is there a vision of being able to, and I might be, just shut me down, Mark, just FYI, you shut me down with this question. But with that, there's this push to say, hey, there's something going on with this asset, and I want you work in conjunction with FANUC, saying, hey guys, we're seeing that our motor is, or the motor on this particular unit is whatever. Do you have that also communication? If I went down that road, I can ensure that FANUC would be there?
Well,
remember, you can shut me down and we can.
No, it's a great question because the goal of being able to predict that downtime means that the announcement has to come somewhere.
Yep.
And so we did have the notice going to customers, but we also have that notice coming to our hotline. And the goal is we want to make sure that the customers are acting on it, and so we can contact the customers also and see, hey, we think that there's a problem coming up here. Maybe they know something else is already going on, and they understand it, and they're working towards it. Maybe not, and maybe we can help them on that. And so we try to make sure we're responsive to help them with that situation.
See, and that's again, I think that there's a beauty in the ability to be able to sort of make it intuitive, simple. I don't have to, exhaust too much of the gray matter calories to try to figure it out. That's one. Two, that because I have all these other challenges with my business, right? They exist, but there's a comfort in knowing that this asset, this valuable automated asset right here, has it covered, and I think that's a great message, and many of the companies around here are looking for that as well. I kind of like all that because you guys are pretty cool. All right, I hate to do it, but I have to. How do people get a hold of you, John?
Get a hold of us at FANUCAmerica.com.
That's not you, John.
Oh, me.
Yeah, I got it. FANUC America. Yeah,
Okay.
You. I want them to go to a human being. Not to say FANUC's not human.
You can email me at john.horn@FANUCAmerica.com.
There it is. And you, Mark.
Yeah, Mark Scherler. That's SCHERLER. Mark Scherler at FANUCAmerica.com.
You guys were great. I'm excited about the future, but I'm an old guy, and I want to participate. Can I participate?
We'll let you.
There it is. Keys to the kingdom. I can participate. All right. Thank you very much for joining Industrial Talk. Once again, we are broadcasting from FABTECH here in Atlanta, Georgia, having a great time, meeting people like John and Mark, because they are special people, and they're delivering solutions and solving problems right here, right now. You can reach out to them at Industrial Talk. All the contact information will be there, so fear not. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Industrial Talk Podcast Network.
Again, thank you very much for joining Industrial Talk, and a hearty thank you to both Mark and John. FANUC is the company. Incredible things, great innovation that is taking place there in that company. And if you ever go to their booth, like FABTECH, which is, by the way, FABTECH 23 is in Chicago, September 11th through the 14th. Put that on your calendar, most definitely. You're going to be dazzled by the innovation that is happening at FANUC. Go to their booth, look around, talk to somebody. It's all there. Great stuff, great solutions, making manufacturing succeed. It is a fabulous, can't say that enough apparently, fabulous solution. FANUC America is the company. Wonderful people, wonderful company. All right. As I alluded to, we're building this platform. This platform is truly dedicated to industrial professionals. Your message needs to be amplified. It needs to be told. And people need to hear it, most definitely. Industrial Talk is the place for you. Go out to industrialtalk.com, subscribe to the channel, reach out to me. I'm a warm and fuzzy teddy bear. You'll get to know me. But let's have that conversation. It's easy. Go out to industrialtalk.com and just say, Scott, I want to talk. That's it. How about that? No friction there. All right, be bold, be brave. I say it all the time. Dare greatly. Absolutely. Hang out with people like Mark and John, and you're going to be changing the world. Thank you very much. Once again, put FABTECH 23 on your calendar because you will not be disappointed. We're going to have another one coming from FABTECH shortly, so stay tuned.